Okay, this is the time of my life. I'm at Bobby's Idle Hour on Music Row. This is where the stars and the session men come and spend their idle hours at the bar.
In between sessions.
They're on Music Row. I've got Bil Vorndick. I can't believe it, Bill. It's like landing in paradise with God. Bill, when did you... Bill's a notorious and legendary producer, and Marty Robbins and a whole heap of stuff. Just hard to recount how many times you've taken people to the Grammys.
46.
46?
46 projects have gone to the
Man,
Grammys.
man, oh man. And Music Row?
I hit here, a guy from RCA brought me down from Washington, D.C. area, June of 1969.
69.
And I woke up, I had a van, one of those large vans, and woke up in John Denny's driveway, went in, had breakfast, and then went down the next block down, Cedarwood Publishing Company, and signed with Cedarwood when I was 19.
19, as a songwriter.
And I would come down every so often, and Chet Atkins got to be a friend, and Harlan Howard. And
because it was all happening down here, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. And I moved down, and Chet Atkins was able to get me into Belmont. He signed my petition. And I started
Belmont being the
Belmont University.
And they're still really well connected and thoroughly involved in the music business.
It was like the first music business program, and Chet thought that I ought to come down. So
So you were introduced to Nashville at a high level, really.
So my wife and I moved down in July. Well, actually the last week of June, 77, and went to Belmont, graduated 2 years later, and Marty Robbins grabbed me to be his chief engineer.
Nice.
At that time, Scotty Moore was the chief engineer.
Elvis's guitarist.
Elvis's guy. And so he recommended me to be the chief engineer, and then when he passed, I built the studio down the street on the corner, which is now
So you're still there? Sorry, this is
studio's still there.
This is massive history for me. This is great.
And I did a lot of Jimmy Nichols, the famous keyboard player, was in the Nichols Brothers. Recorded him and Marcus Smith, and that's where Mark O'Connor's first session was with Bela Fleck. I pretty much recorded all the albums on Bela, from Deviation all the way through the 4th or 5th Flecktones album.
Nice. And they're doing all right.
They're doing all right, Bela, well, they're all good guys.
I know, that's right. And
Jerry Douglas and I cut Alison Krauss and Jerry. Produced her albums down across from Ronnie Millsap's studio when I owned that place.
But that's all roots stuff, Bill. Is that what you? Would you say that's what you're known for? Is there still a market for that in Nashville?
Yes.
I'm glad to hear that.
The folk and the bluegrass. I mean, I did a lot of country. There's not too many major country acts up till the the next generation. The Dollies and the Cashews. And, George Joneses. Emmy Lou's. Porter Wagner's.
So how is Nashville now then?
Nashville's doing really well. I saw on the LinkedIn page today that there's 28,000 jobs available.
Right. Well, that's a big thing. That's a big thing.
But unfortunately, they're tearing down a lot of Music Row. And building these high-rise condominiums. In apartments and stuff. Because a lot of the history is.
I mean, I knew this. I knew this because I study this kind of stuff. But it just looks like a suburb of Nashville, and with houses along the way, but they've got the signs out that are full of history. I mean, 16th and 17th is called Music Row. And the first studio on Bradley was the Quonset Hut, which is how far is the Quonset Hut from here? Is it only 2 blocks?
And if you go around the back of the curb building there, which was CBS, if you look back there, you'll see the Quonset Hut.
I want to go.
And
I might just walk
Belmont,
over that in a minute.
It's taken it over now. It's not the same as it was.
No, but they've taken it. They've got it back as a studio, though. Haven't
they've got it back in the studio. Yeah. And they redid Studio A at CBS.
Yeah.
When I was in college, I spent a lot of time there with Ken Laxton and Mike Figlio. And a lot of the engineers, Lou Bradley, would let me sit in on sessions and stuff when I was going to college.
Yeah.
But when I signed with Cedarwood, when I was 19, you could go into the studio anywhere, you know, sit on the couch and you get your Coke and your peanuts. You put the Coke, your peanuts in the Coke, you know, and then watch the session. If you're just quiet. And some of the best sessions were with Harlan Howard.
I love that stuff.
He called me for a session, and I told him I was doing a master's that day. He goes, "Well, cancel it, Bill." So I did. And he says, "I got a friend coming in to sing the demos." I said, "Well, who is it?" He says, "You're going to have to show." So when I walked in, my old friend Keith Whitley, because I've known Keith Whitley since he was 13 or 14, and he was singing all the demos for Harlan that day.
Man, oh man.
You know, it doesn't get too much better than
No, well, everything's here, the way. That's why Nashville is Nashville. It's like, it's all available.
Well, you got your folk, you got your bluegrass, you got your gospel, contemporary Christian, country, and there's a big rock scene happening here.
Well, most of the country music's gone that way as well, though. Marvelous. It's just a joy to see.
They're still here.
That's
having fun. I just came from the studio.
Who are you working with just now?
Craig Duncan.
Craig Duncan. I don't know his name.
If anybody that plays the mandolin or fiddle, they would have probably learned from a Craig Duncan.
Right.
But we do this series of instrumental records. And we're somewhere in about 120 albums together.
Great. And you've done one with Libby, who's been so cool to me and taking me around all this and introducing me to folk like yourself. She is very special. Both of them are, but particularly special. And a lovely human being. It's a joy to meet you. Thank you so much for doing that.
Sure. Anytime.
Something you once told me, and I'll be damned if it did not come true. 20 miles in a row, I went down, and they'll let me straight back home to you. 'Cause I headed west to grow up with the country. Across those prairies with no way to grave. And I saw my devil, then I saw my deep blue sea. And I thought about a calico white, Cheyenne to Tennessee. Straight across that river bridge, last night I passed to. Which meant we just landed goodbye and good day as we went rolling through. Billboards and truck stops passed by the Grievous Angel. And now I know just what I had to do. To take my money for something that I've never been sold. And I saw my devil, and I saw my deep blue sea, and I thought about told me